that's much more positive than negative. And when you're listening to a show, and I listen to the same shows that you listen to, I go on the internet, right, and I click on a video. I'm a skeptic. If I see a video, there was a video I saw recently where it was a kid getting his head shaved, right, and he's freaking out, crying, right, like his dad shaving his head. And the caption of the video said, this kid made fun of another kid for having cancer, and this is the dad's punishment. And then all the comments are like, yeah, good dad, dad of the year, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going like, I don't know that he did that. It's a great video to get people to click on and to get people behind it. But I've seen plenty of videos with parents shaving their kid's head for just talking back to them, right? So I take everything with a grain of salt.
It's always amazing.
And I try to fact check everything that I hear, because the reality is everything is sort of set up in a way now on the internet to tell a certain narrative. So if you're listening to a podcast and you're just taking the word of whatever expert, and you're not at least doing a moment of research if you care enough about these fucking opinions.
I'm so tired.
Right, that's the point though. People need to not be as lazy, and you're talking about like free-flowing conversations with, talking thousands and thousands of words per hour, like ideas, and who knows what the fuck is real, what's not real. You're entertained or you're not. This idea that Joe Rogan has a responsibility as an entertainer to be some sort of like truth teller, or to he's not the news. Like, that's not what it is, and people treat him like this. Kind of.
At some point, he's now bigger. Look, and if we're being honest, he's now bigger than all of the news networks, whether he wanted to be or not to be. So at some point, you kind of have to go, hey, listen, this is not my.
But that's what it is.
I don't know why I'm the guy fighting this fight, because I'm not prepared.
I'm actually glad that you are, because we'd probably all just be sitting here having the same conversation. So it's good that you're really having the counterpoint. But that's not his responsibility. There's not a responsibility. Just because he's huge, he doesn't have a responsibility to be the delivery system for news to the world. He's not. Sometimes he has interesting conversations with people. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong. Take it with a grain of salt. Do your own independent research. That's a responsibility on every fucking, and that's with the mainstream news as well. When the news, if I see CNN or fucking MSNBC or Fox News or any,
we have all learned not to trust media.
You don't trust it.
I don't.
No matter where it comes from.
This is the problem now. The problem is now that I no longer trust anything, and I no longer know what's true at all.
Yeah.
Like, literally, it's like they've got me so confused that I'm like, I don't trust.
So that's the whole point of it, though.
But that's exactly why I think Rogan and people like this should be held to a different standard.
But then it turns into something different then it's
because he has such a huge audience, and he's having people on with a huge audience.
But then it stops being fun. Then it stopped. Like, if I'm
with
that
great
guy,
power comes great responsibility.
Yes, exactly right.
Yeah,
we don't care about all I. Yo,
that's damn right.
All I want to see is him smoking a joint with Elon Musk on his fucking
using
show.
blowtorches.
I don't even care about it.
Protect our parks is fucking fire. I love
dude.
when they
Well, no,
do
I'm not.
shit like that.
And by the way, it seems like I'm sucking Rogan's dick. It's nothing to do with Rogan. It's just sort of human experience. There's no responsibility. If I blew up and I had 10 million followers, I have a responsibility now. No, that's insane.
Yeah, but you're different. He is.
That would be like if Lewis for years gave people diet advice on his podcast.
No, but it is different.
Remember when I told everyone they could eat tuna every day?
You told the guy to eat as many cans of tuna as he wanted a day. And then
I had
a doctor wrote
in and was like, do not tell people that. Do not tell people that.
Spackle in your intestines.
By the way, Greg, I actually want to, what Greg said, I think the whole deal with Maron and Rogan is they're two sides of the same coin. Both store guys from the exact same era came up idolizing Kinison and those outlaws of comedy, and they both went at it so different that I think they're always going to be intertwined.
Sure.
Because they're both from the exact same era. They both got famous at the same time. They both got on TV at the same time. Right when Rogan was getting big, Maron almost got Daily Show. But then he had all those VH1 shows, and he was also
been miserable too. Maron has always been miserable.
Very much so.
Finish the video, because we're going to wrap up here in just a few minutes. We only got a few minutes left here, Shannon. So let's play a couple more minutes of this video.
I guarantee you, if anything, he's mad about his tummy sticking out at the bottom more than anything.
Maron was an asshole to me, by the way. I should just get that out there. I've never met Rogan, but I've met him, and he was like kind of a dick. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Go ahead.
To be hanging out with the bros, my feeling was like, this is not my audience, and there's too many of them, and they took over the place. So me performing for bros is not a great matchup.
No,
I'd rather just have tourists, who are like, what are we watching, as opposed to
blank palette,
defined
personality.
So I don't perform, but me and Zach are freaks. Me and Zach were not like, I know it seems like I'm a fucking like broy guy now, and I fucking get in, like, I was a long hair, purple hair, eyeliner, Marilyn Manson t-shirt in high school. I was not a fucking bro. I was made fun of by the bros. I hated the fucking jocks. I hated the bros. That's who me and Zach are. By the way, you see it now. It's like the reason that I get so much hate, I get hate from that world because they can just they smell the stink on me. They're like, you're a fucking dweeb. I know you are. They're not like, I'm not a cool guy like that. Yeah. So I connect with the idea, but at the same time, I don't think that it's a bad thing to open up the doors for the mainstream, right? So Tony Hinchcliffe and Kill Tony, they're the mainstream. I go onto those shows and I'm exposed to an audience that would never come over to the Legion of Skanks unless I kind of trick them into coming over, because we're freaks. We're the juggalos. We're the fucking, we're not.
You guys are fucking.
Yeah, we're not mainstream like that. You know what I'm saying? Like those guys are the mainstream. Those guys are fucking Lady Gaga and fucking, whatever.
You don't think you're a cool dude?
Not like that.
Come on, the mustache. Body,
the mustache.
You know you're cool. You wear them crazy ass sunglasses. Doggy. If you and me are walking down the hallway, which one are they gonna go? Now that's a cool guy.
I was the kid who I was infamous in high school. I knew
you're not a kid anymore.
I knew everybody in high school. Everyone knew me.
Yeah.
Right. And I was just I've always been memorable. I've always been a unique personality. But most of those people remember me as being.
Damn. So that debate continued. Overall, I do agree with Lewis in this aspect, even though, Lewis is kind of glazing Rogan, but, I do overall agree with him, though, in the aspect of it's not really Rogan's responsibility, since, I get people who make the argument of his platform is so big, he has a responsibility. I would argue against that only from the aspect of that's not how he built his platform. Joe Rogan didn't build a huge platform claiming he was the truth or everything and then switched up and said, oh, I'm just a comedian. Don't listen to me. He's always said that. So that's why I've always been like, yeah, it's not really Rogan's responsibility. I don't care how many people actually listen to him. He's been saying right off the rip, I'm an idiot comedian. Don't listen to me. I just talk to people about stuff I want to talk about. Now, if he had started out saying, I have all the answers and everything and listen to me, then you actually do have an argument there about him being fact-checked and everything. But this debate just continued on. And I actually do like the guy on the other side arguing the other argument. Because I think the dude arguing the other argument isn't a weirdo, super lefty dude. I think he just has his opinions. And I may disagree with him, but I don't think the dude's ultimately a dick. But yeah, Lewis was kind of glazing Rogan here. I don't mind it, though. Lewis even kind of said, those guys are the big leagues. We gotta, And Lewis, to some degree, I think, also just sees what's happening with Dave Smith and notices when Lewis in the last get threw in that, Obama was president and he did this. I was like, oh, he so just got that line from Dave Smith. I don't even think Lewis remembers what Obama was president. He was too busy, listening to punk rock or something. I like how Lewis admitted he was a little, rock head goth kid in high school. Again, this Puerto Rican guy with his long hair goth kid. Oh, of course Lewis was. You tell him and Zach. I don't know if they knew each other in high school, but something tells me they would have been best buddies. But the glazing of Rogan continues. By Lewis, that debate continued. Tony Yayo. I'm liking the Tony Yayo only from the aspect of it's so completely random for Tony Yayo to be there. It's like, why Tony Yayo specifically? I like it so much, though. I just like the fact that Tony Yayo is there. Can we get Spliff Star there? I don't know, but let me know your thoughts in the comments.